I'm Santa. I'm here to bring gifts. I'm here to provide information as much as I can, right? Wanted to do something a little different instead of like the property tours that I've been doing pretty much every week. So I thought this time I'd go ahead and throw a little Christmas special in there and talk about something that pertains to what we're all dealing with soon, and that is taxes. Everybody loves taxes, right? They suck. But at the same time, there's ways to save money. So basically, while everyone's kind of going through the year, debating over getting a home, debating over moving, whatever the situation is, you're a first-time home buyer, great, it's all fine and dandy. But when tax season starts coming up, we all start thinking, do you save money on owning a home, buying a home? Like, do you save any money? First things first, we need to talk about two different things. It's one, the standard deduction that you're gonna get for your taxes, just by default, and then two, an itemized deduction. For a married couple that's filing their taxes, their standard deduction is gonna be $27,700. If you are a single person or you are a married couple that's filing separately, your new deduction is gonna be $13,850, which makes sense because you just cut that $27,700 in half. There you go. There's three main things I want to talk about when it comes to the itemizing deduction. First thing I want to cover is the mortgage interest deduction. So if you're itemizing, you can go up to about $750,000 worth of a mortgage, a loan, and deduct some of the interest for that if you are married or single. Now, if you are a married couple and you're filing separately, then you're going to go up to about $375 each. Now, a lot of people will have something under $750, which, you know, is great. So you can save a lot. You also want to note that if you are just buying a home or you're about to, obviously at the beginning of your home loan, you're going to have a much higher interest amount that you're paying on your monthly payment. So you pay for the principal and you pay for the interest. The interest at the very beginning of the loan, and as time goes on, it's gonna start way higher than the actual principal that you're paying on, right? So then as time goes on, it kind of flips and then you're paying more principal and you're actually getting more equity in the home and you're paying less interest. So with that being said, if you just bought a home or you're thinking about buying a home, you definitely can deduct a lot more interest at the beginning. So that is a benefit that you can look at when you're wanting to purchase. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So the next big thing that you want to cover when trying to itemize and see if you can get higher tax deductions is the property tax deduction. So you're looking at the SALT taxes, the state and local tax. When looking at that, the interesting thing is that obviously there are some states, including Texas, which is great, I think it's about 9 that don't have income tax. You are putting your property taxes, and then you can do one or the other, which is either the state income taxes or you can do the sales taxes. Now, obviously, if you're in a state that doesn't have income tax, then you're just gonna do the sales tax. You're gonna go straight to the sales tax and you'll be fine. But just keep that in mind because not every state has income tax. And Texas happens to be one of those, and that can be a really good thing, and that's great, I think, but it could in certain spots also increase the sales tax. So even though you're not having the income tax, the sales tax could be a little bit higher. So keep that in mind. But with that being said, in Texas, which is where I do everything in DFW, I work in DFW. So over here, you would be in a position that you would be doing for the SALT tax deduction, you would be doing the property, you do property taxes, and then you would do the sales tax. You can't do both though. You can't do a sales tax and an income tax. Single person, or if you're married and you're filing jointly, then you can do up to like $10,000 when it comes to that. If you are married and you're filing separately, then it's gonna be $5,000. And the third thing you're gonna be looking at is going to be mortgage point deductions. To cover mortgage points, just think of like 1 point as 1%. Half a point, 0.5%, right? Mortgage point deductions are pretty much the loan origination fees, the maximum loan charges, and loan discounts. There are typically 2 different types of mortgage points, and that's origination points, which are more like the income for the loan originator. And then there's the discount points, which are pretty much like prepaid taxes. In regards to this situation, you would definitely want to talk to a CPA to see if you could deduct the mortgage points that you had on the year that you purchased the home, or if you're in a position at which you qualify or you have to actually deduct points over the life of the loan. Now, something that's important is if you are married and you're filing separately, you can't both do separate deductions. One of you can't do a standard deduction and then the other one do an itemized deduction. You actually have to make sure that you both do the exact same. So it's either you both do the standard deduction or you both do the itemized deduction if you're married and you're filing separately. So with all that being said, it's a long-winded way of saying this, but the answer to do you save money on your taxes if you buy a home is it depends. It really depends. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear. It's much better if it's straightforward, but it's just not. The only time you're going to itemize is if you're over the standard deduction, you're actually going to save money. Otherwise, you're just going to do the standard deduction and you're fine. Hopefully that helps out a little bit and kind of explains some of the stuff that you can actually deduct. Oh, and quick note, I'm still doing the property tours every week. It's just for this week, I decided to do something a little different and change it up a little bit. So that will keep going every Monday. So yeah, make sure and check it out and subscribe if you can, but I appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.